weekend, guys. Bill Cosby on his way to court. He is scheduled to be arraigned at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time, so in about 30 minutes. In the upper right-hand corner, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the scene outside the courthouse. You can see the media all ready to go, waiting for Bill Cosby's arrival. As you know, Bill Cosby facing criminal charges. Those charges were announced by the district attorney's office this morning. Cosby being arraigned today in a case from 2004. All right, guys, while we continue with this Bill Cosby watch, instead of looking at the media posted up outside the courthouse, I'm actually going to replay the press conference from earlier today where the DA announced the charges against Bill Cosby. So we're going to watch that in the upper right-hand corner the upper left-hand corner while we continue to monitor Bill Cosby's SUV.
Good morning. My name is Kevin Steele. I am here today on behalf of District Attorney Risa Vetri-Furman. With me is Chief John Norris and Chief Sam Gallen. We are here to announce today charges that have just been filed against William Henry Cosby. These charges stem from a sexual assault that took place on an evening in early 2004 at Mr. Cosby's home in Cheltenham Township, Montgomery County. Mr. Cosby is charged with aggravated indecent assault. This is a felony of the first degree. Mr. Cosby's attorney has been notified of the charges, and he is expected to be arraigned later this afternoon. When we have a specific time for that, we'll let you know, and that's going to be at the Magisterial District Judge's office in Elkins Park. The charges today are filed as a result of new information that came to light in July of 2015. Statute of limitations in this type of case is 12 years. After determining that the statute of limitations regarding potential criminal offenses had not yet expired, the investigation was reopened. Working with Chief Norris and the Cheltenham Township Police, Montgomery County detectives and prosecutors from our office, our team reviewed the initial investigation, re-interviewed some of the witnesses, examined evidence from the civil case, and information from other alleged victims. The evidence shows Mr. Cosby established a relationship with the victim after meeting her through her work associated with Temple University's women's basketball program. Through the course of their association, the victim came to consider Mr. Cosby her mentor and her friend. On two other occasions before the incident leading to the criminal charge in this case, Mr. Cosby made two sexual advances at her that were rejected. On the evening in question, Mr. Cosby urged her to take pills that he provided to her and to drink wine, the effect of which rendered her unable to move, respond to his advances, and he committed aggravated indecent assault upon her. Now, a prosecutor's job is to follow the evidence wherever it takes us, and sometimes that means whenever it comes to light. When U.S. Federal Judge Edward Rebreno unsealed legal filings that contained references to the civil deposition, and we learned about allegations from other victims under similar circumstances, reopening this case was not a question. Rather, reopening this case was our duty as law enforcement officers with a sworn obligation to uphold our constitutions and to uphold the law. Today, after examination of all the evidence, we are able to seek justice on behalf of the victim. Now, going forward, and we ask that anyone that has any information regarding any similar incidents with Mr. Cosby come forward. We ask them to contact either the Montgomery County Detective Bureau here or Cheltenham Township Police. At this point, I will take questions.
Do you know anything about the legality of getting that deposition admitted as evidence in this case? I know there was some question about that earlier on.
Well, I can't at this point. There's going to certainly be motions that will be filed in the case and matters to be litigated. I can't give you a determination of how that is going to result, but the depositions were released by the federal court judge, and we examined them and examined other evidence that we were able to obtain in this case. Other questions?
The arraignment is here or Elkins Park?
The arraignment will be in Elkins Park, and we don't have a specific time. I anticipate it may be around 4 p.m. today.
He will physically be there, or is it?
He has to appear at an arraignment before Magisterial District Judge McHugh, and he'll be arraigned by her. It's her jurisdiction.
Have you been in contact with any of the other Cosby accusers for potentially testifying in this case?
Well, I'm not going to get into specifics of the investigation at this point, but it's outlined in the affidavit of probable cause that there are other alleged victims, and we are examining evidence in that. And again, as to the prior question, it's going to be looked at in terms of motions that will be filed down the line here.
Other alleged victims, but not in Pennsylvania, not in Montgomery County, correct?
This is the charge that we are proceeding on here today involves one victim. Involves a victim that went to Mr. Cosby's home in Cheltenham in early 2004. There is one charge that is filed, aggravated indecent assault, which is a felony of the first degree.
Has the victim indicated she'll be willing to testify at trial?
She has indicated she would be willing to cooperate with us going forward.
What was her reaction when you told her today was the day you're going to file charges?
I didn't speak to her specifically, so I can't give you an answer to that.
Any drugging charges?
One charge, aggravated indecent assault. There is a statute of limitations as to that charge, which is within 12 years, and that is the charge that we filed. There's separate sections under that that have been filed, and it is one charge.
Can you discuss, though, the use of the drugs and how does that play into the charges in terms of the aggravated factor, or is that just not part of the charges?
All right, so the charge is aggravated indecent assault, and the breakdown of that statute is, number one, a person commits some type of vaginal penetration, digital penetration, and the person does so without the complainant's consent. So that's one. The second aspect, the complainant was unconscious, or the person knows that the complainant is unaware that the penetration is occurring. 5, the person has substantially impaired the complainant's power to appraise or control his or her conduct by administering or providing drugs or other intoxicants or other means for the purpose of preventing resistance. So that's the breakdown of the statute.
Were there any charges you couldn't seek because of the statute of limitations?
This is the central charge in the case. It's aggravated indecent assault, which is a felony of the first degree,
But were
and
there any
that's
charges
where.
you couldn't seek because the statute of limitations had run out?
Well, we're not looking at other charges at this point because this is the charge that we have the ability to go forward on under the statute of limitations.
Does it become complicated for the prosecution, given that apparently the victim continued to have at least a social relationship with Mr. Cosby after the incident?
I'm not sure what you're referring to at this point. There's investigative materials that we've gone through, and we've looked through a lot of evidence in this case to make the determination that we have. When you look at the case, there is a number of aspects that are undisputed in the case, and that has led to the charges that are being brought forth today here. There's not a question in terms of pills being provided to her. There's not a question as to the occurrence of what went on of the digital penetration, and we've gotten that from statements, from depositions. So that led us to today in the filing of charges of aggravated indecent assault.
Can you say anything about the decision not to prosecute him 10 years ago and why you were able to make this past or wasn't?
I'm not going to look at the past or actions that weren't taken at that point. It's not a time to Monday morning quarterback. We have examined the evidence in this case. We have made determinations in regard to it that the evidence is strong and sufficient to proceed at this point, and we are proceeding with the charge of aggravated indecent assault.
And can you say specifically what was in the deposition that sort of opened the door for this new investigation?
Well, there were a number of aspects, but if I can refer you to the affidavit of probable cause, which I know is extensive, so I don't know how far everybody's gone through, but there were specific questions in regard to using Quaaludes, and I think that's been widely reported, and that's a significant factor in making a determination. The detectives followed the evidence where it led them. We examined all the evidence that we had available to us, made this determination because it was the right thing to do. All right, one more.
Do you believe that it was Quaaludes used in this case?
If you look at the affidavit of probable cause, and particularly when you work to the conclusionary aspects of the case, what we know is that pills were provided. There's inconsistencies on what type of pills they were. There was also wine that was provided. We then go to the reaction of the victim, frozen, paralyzed, unable to move. A person in that state cannot give consent. Therefore, the aggravated indecent charge.
Are you not sure if it's Quaaludes or something else?
Well, only the person providing that material to the victim knows exactly what was provided to her. All right, thank you very much.
Who is representing Mr. Cosby, do you know?
For those of you just joining us, we are awaiting Bill Cosby's arrival to the courthouse. His arraignment is scheduled for 2:30 Eastern Time. That is 12:30 here in Arizona, so just about 14 minutes away. Bill Cosby reportedly in that black SUV. The video coming in on in the upper right-hand corner of your screen, that is live video from the courthouse. You can see the media completely staked out. And we will continue to bring you nonstop Cosby coverage right here on Fox News Now.
him. There he is right there.
Craig, I do see two gentlemen in the back seat. I do believe this is him. He is seated closest to us. There is a woman coming out of the other side, and this does look like Mr. Cosby. This is Mr. Cosby. Mr. Cosby, how do you respond to the charge? Mr. Cosby.
Mr. Cosby, how do you respond to the charges? Mr. Cosby, you want to say anything? Mr. Cosby, how do you respond to the charge?
Mr. Cosby, how do you feel,
No
sir?
comment?
As you see there, Craig, he almost tripped over the curb.